All right, I wanted to share another episode of this Banking on Us. I kind of shared it out of order, but it doesn't really matter because the topics are completely different. The topics are somewhat different. Don't need to be in order. But if you're following, you probably seen the video the other day from this series called Banking on Us. That video was about supporting Black businesses. This one is about investing in the Black community. Again, this series discusses key issues that the Black community faces in gaining financial empowerment and highlights the Black business and homeowners that are thriving towards that goal. All right. I think this is Netflix. It's called Still Watching Netflix is the name of the channel, but I'm not sure if this is Netflix, their official channel or not. But either way, I thought this was a good thing to share. Always a good thing to talk about. Y'all let me know what y'all think. All right, it's Ricky Rich with Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.
To invest in the Black community.
There are real people who can empower America and the world to be better.
As we unpack a complicated relationship with banking, while also showing how we could successfully change the narrative on Black businesses, Black homeownership, and investing in the Black community. This is Banking on Us. On June 30th, 2020, Netflix decided it would take $100 million and invest it directly into Black-owned financial institutions.
My name is Aaron.
Real quick, this series is a little older, a few years ago. The information in it is still relevant, obviously. But how do you? I didn't hear about this. This is good news. I'm just curious. Again, this is around the time, July 1st, 2020, where you had a whole bunch of businesses looking to support Black-owned businesses. That has since, unfortunately, died down and has almost went silent, except for here on Black Primacy, that is. But what do y'all think? Do y'all think this actually happened, and did it really go anywhere? I'm curious. You know, I appreciate that they did do this, if they did do it. I'm just curious what y'all think on when we watch these old videos, because sometimes I don't even know these videos are old until I see this. And I'm like, damn, Netflix. And I'm like, oh, 2020. Yeah. Right. It's not happening in 2024 or 2025. Right. So, very interesting. I had to ask. Y'all let me know what y'all think.
Directly into Black-owned financial institutions.
My name is Aaron Mitchell. I am from New Haven, Connecticut, and I lead HR for Netflix Animation Studios. April 16th, I was hosting a networking dinner. You know, Netflix is, I'd say, pretty famous at this point for its culture because it's a company that invites entrepreneurial thinking and then gives people the actual tools to do that. We had put together these dinners to bring together leaders from underrepresented groups with our executives. And so somebody on that dinner was like, hey, how do we get corporations to move their money into Black banks? And that was sort of the light bulb moment for me where I was like, I don't know, but I'm gonna ask. So a couple weeks later, I asked our CFO. He's like, look into it, do some research. I did some research, put together a proposal. That was May 22nd when I finished that proposal. And then May 25th, George Floyd was murdered. And it created this sort of internal sense of urgency around doing something for these communities. I had looked up a number of Black banks. There were 19 in the country. I'm like, cool. Bill Bynum was the first person that we spoke to.
Bill Bynum, the CEO of Hope Credit Union. I got a call one day from Aaron Mitchell.
He talked to us about, capital requirements.
He was familiar with the work that Hope was doing.
Hope is a community development financial institution, so we were created to provide opportunities for people that have not had that access.
We started having conversations.
We were able to agree that by investing in Black-led financial institutions,
we can start to heal people and we can start to see progress progress.
There's a huge disparity in one's ability to achieve economic prosperity because of the color of the skin.
We need to talk about this because if people can't get out of these neighborhoods, they can't get into corporate America, they can't become leaders. So this whole work is pointless if we can't solve the root cause of the problem.
Let's stop for a second and dive deeper into this. Black wealth, black dollar, black spending, black businesses, generational wealth, racial wealth gap. Let's get to the point. Are black people the reason their communities don't seem to reach their fullest potential? Even though the racial wealth gap is widening, black people as a collective spend more than $1 trillion a year. So if we have the money and the desire to spend, what seems to be the holdup on us flourishing like the kings and queens we are? Policy, systematic racism, laws, and more policy. Mirza Baradaran breaks down in her book, Color of Money, that the wealth gap is spearheaded by policies America has put in place for centuries, from the Jim Crow era to the present day.
I actually read that book, by the way. It's called The Color of Money. Y'all make sure y'all check it out if y'all missed what they just said.
Breaks down in her book, Color of Money, and more policy. Mirza Baradaran breaks down in her book, Color of Money, that the wealth gap is spearheaded by policies America has put in place for centuries, from the Jim Crow era to the present day. 60% of black Americans, relative to 20% of white Americans, are either unbanked or underbanked. This means the black people who have money and are trying to get money are being significantly cut out of the picture. And then there's redlining. The devaluing of black homes and black neighborhoods is a direct impact that steals wealth away from black people. The law has unfortunately made sure this has happened to our community, where appraisers will automatically devalue black homes, and states will just mark certain areas as poor and limit their resources completely. Crazy, right? The proof is in the pudding. So what exactly happened? What's happening now? And most importantly, how do we move forward as a community to get ourselves in a place to win? Now that we took a look at that, let's continue.
Operation Breadbasket was kicked off by Martin Luther King back in 1968.
He told the community to
Put their money into black banks,
that's going to support your family and your community.
create progress and prosperity for all. Unfortunately, Dr. King was murdered that same year before Operation Breadbasket got off the ground. This is one of many viable paths forward to start righting these wrongs. And maybe at some point, for my kids, or maybe even in my lifetime, we can see a version of this that we're comfortable with.
We as a community need to embrace the work that Dr. King gave his life for.
We meant to show the rest of corporate America what's possible.
To be a homeowner and a person of color is one of the greatest milestones that you can ever achieve.
It's almost undescribable. It's a sense of accomplishment.
Having an institution that will lend funds in order for me to reach the goals I'm trying to get to.
And so the spark is, hey, if we did this and it's working, if everybody did this, we could actually change this world. The rest is history.
I like it. I like what they said back here, relating to the. Let me go back to it. They had the big. Here it is. Systemic racism, laws. Let me let it play all the way out.
Laws and more policy.
Oh, and more policy. These are the things. These are the things that significantly affect the black community, and we all know this. We all know this. So it's just trying to navigate it. And as I always say, the only way to be able to truly navigate this is to invest in our own. I know a lot of y'all hate to hear that for some reason. Y'all really, there's a large portion of the black community that hates to hear supporting our own, supporting the black community and investing in the black community. For whatever reason, there's a lot of pushback on that, especially as all of this support black-owned stuff dies down following George Floyd's murder 4 years ago. But it's true. I mean, you can't if you're someone who doesn't want to hear uh, about investing in the Black community, the positives behind it, and the push to do so, then you as an African American cannot complain about anything that happens to you on that you feel is on the basis of race. You just can't. Okay. This is the reason why we need to invest in our own. And that, I don't just mean businesses. I mean, business is 90% of what I talk about here, but I mean in everything else. Invest in Black relationships, invest in Black politics, invest, you know, anything, invest um, in the Black legal system, whether that be lawyers, you know, police officers, like, you know, anywhere that where we see a lot of these things, systemic racism, just racism in general, laws, again, government policies, all of these things, invest in the Black portion of that. You know, push for change through ourselves, you know, because going to these other groups and asking for change, I personally just don't see that working. You know, so you know, that's why I'm so happy to and I'm just so happy to have created this brand that will, you know, continue uh to create that change that's needed. You know, even though, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of videos I've shared in the past on supporting Black businesses, on what it's like, you know, what needs to happen, and it's met with a lot of negative feedback. And like I said, a lot of people that are given that negative feedback are people of our own, you know, and that's just so strange to me. But I've seen it. I've seen it before. We'll see it more in the future. Just, you know, I'm just going to continue to share and hopefully change the tide, change the minds, or maybe those people will just get sick and tired of seeing it, and then they'll fade off to the back, right? And then it'll just be nothing but positivity and growth from there, you know. So, but yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think. All right, I'm gonna continue to share these. Again, this is Banking on Us. I believe it's on Netflix. I believe this is Netflix's YouTube channel. Didn't know they had one, but yeah, I'll continue to share. Y'all let me know what y'all think. All right, it's Ricky Rich with Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.